Good morning everyone and welcome to Live Bird TV. So I always, when we lose a game, I always never sort of go live straight after, because there'd be a lot of arguing and a lot of tension. There always is. You can see it on all the social media pages and everybody's just stressed. The emotions run through the game and everybody just doesn't, you don't really get a constructive conversation, from myself included, because I would have described myself as a Liverpool fan. I'm one of those that I really show my true colours when we're against it. I'm going to go back to what I used to say a couple of years ago. During that couple of years where we just won every single week, and it was an absolute stroll. I loved it, because you do, it's your team and you're winning every week. I loved it, but at the same time I was a little bit bored. I was a bit bored. I mean, it reminds me of how it would be to be a Rangers and Celtic fan. You know, when you're just winning every single game, the only games you've got to look forward to is the ones when you play each other. That's how it was getting for me until we played Man City. It was getting very similar. It was getting a bit like the SPL. Now, I went on Talk Sport a few weeks back. I backed Darwin Núñez. I stand by that. I still think he's going to be a superstar for us up front. He just needs time. He needs to integrate himself into what we do at Liverpool. I also said that I don't think that Liverpool and Manchester City will get to over 90, get to late 90s of points again this year anyway. And the reason behind that is, as I said, look what Arsenal have done. They've spent 200 million on good players. Right, look what Tottenham have done. They've got Antonio Conte. You've got Aston Villa, who can, like they did, get points off Man City. You've got Newcastle, who are now doing exactly the same. They're in the top six. You've got Everton, who have signed very well. I'm not being funny, but I watched them yesterday. I know they lost, but bringing in Jagielka and Conor Cody, and they've actually really improved themselves. So my point was that this is the strongest that I have ever seen the Premier League, and it is. Now, some of the fans' reactions are beyond belief, right? This video I've chosen to do this morning, I'm just going to jog a few memories, because I think it's needed, right? This Liverpool team is brilliant. It's just lost form. I'll tell you why. What we on now? October. So you got May, June, July, August, September. 5 months ago, we nearly won the quadruple, right? We've lost Sadio Mane. That is a big blow. But it was always going to happen. We always knew. The fans that have intellect and sense knew that. Did you actually just think we'd go from losing Sadio Mane and Gini Wijnaldum, right, and just be able to just go, bang, we're going to still win nearly every game in the Premier League this season? No, it's going to take time. Not only do you need to give it patience to integrate your Cavallios, your Harvey Elliott's, your Luis Diaz's, your Darwin Núñez's, but you also have to give it time to integrate the new system that Klopp's trying now. It's basically a 4-2-4. So I'm just going to put on record right now that if you think Liverpool are going to keep clean sheets playing 4-2-4, then you don't understand football, and you also don't understand Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is not Antonio Conte. You are not going to get him playing to win games 1-0, because I tell you something now, Klopp doesn't do that. He wants to entertain football from the start of the match to the end of the match. I've been listening to TalkSport all week, right, for the last few weeks. Fans want Antonio Conte out at Tottenham. They're doing the best they've done in years. Right, you've got more chance of winning the trophy now than they ever have done, but they want him out because they can't stand the boredom and the fucking absolute defensiveness of his teams. We are lucky to have Jurgen Klopp. Klopp will get it right, and we'll be back to winning games again, but we'll be doing it in an attacking way. He's looking at this 4-2-4, right, because he's got no choice. He's basically saying to FSG, I can only play two midfielders. What do you think he's doing it for? I'm having to play three behind the striker, because in a way, I agree that if FSG see us winning every week, they're not going to give a shit. They're not going to pay shitloads of money out because they don't need to if we're winning every week. But now, John Henry's not a mug. He knows that if he wants Liverpool to be a big money-making machine, like some fans accuse him of, but he's going to want them to be that because that means it's successful, he's going to know that finishing 10th in the league, we're going to lose about 50 to 60 to 70 million, right? So, again, there'll be this big outcry now for the January window, right? January window is the most difficult. All right, let's go back to Liverpool signing Coutinho in January, Sturridge in January. I think we've got Luis Suarez in January as well, didn't we? So there's players out there. But what I seen yesterday was not a team that wasn't fighting, not a team that wanted to give everything, not a team that was brilliant in spells, a team that is just a little bit like Virgil van Dijk says, losing a bit of confidence. So the way I look at it is, we just need to tweak a few things. Now, I was actually really seriously impressed with Gomez when he came on yesterday. I thought he looked defensively sharp, and I thought Konate was outstanding when he came on as well. So I actually think that Gomez and Konate should start. Now, we're going to have scans this morning on Trent Alexander-Arnold's, which I think was a red card. I think it was an absolutely shocking tackle. And if you see the image that I put up yesterday, it's above the ankle. Well, to me that is a leg breaker, and you could actually hear Gary Neville's commentary when he went, because he's seen a replay before we were allowed to even watch it. I think when they realised it wasn't a leg breaker, they were allowed to show the replays. But that to me was a red card. Now, I'm not using excuses, but I was going to say I get paid to do this. I don't get paid to do this. I'm on here to do this in my most honest way of what I've seen in the game. Now, I've put the image up in this video, as you can see just above me here. I always point the wrong way there, right? How the fuck is that not a handball? I mean, that is Jota lifting the ball back into the box. His arm's here. How is that a natural position when, if you watch our defenders, Virgil and Matip and that, when they're defending, they always have their arms there behind their back, so when the cross comes in, it hits them on the shoulders or the belly or the top chest, right? That's to stop things like that happening. So you tell me how in the hell that one wasn't a penalty, and two, why was Michael Oliver not sent to the monitor to look at it? Like Klopp said, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, that would have been a penalty, and that would have also gone to VAR to have a look at it, and the ref would have been sent over to the telly. VAR works in Spain, it works in Germany, it works in Italy, and you know what it is? It's a Premier League that is scared shitless of VAR working, because it might take away the big fee they get around the globe for the Premier League being the best in the world and the most, frantic. They don't want 0-0s because 2 goals have been ruled out by VAR. I actually think that the Premier League are trying to find grounds to destroy VAR to get rid of it. And you know what? I hope they succeed, because I absolutely hate it. Hate it. Right? Okay, we probably still wouldn't have got the penalty yesterday, but I don't care in the long run. VAR ruins the game. I hate it. Anyway, go back to yesterday. We've got scans this morning for Trent, and we've got scans for Luis Diaz, which is a fucking blow, because Diaz was outstanding. I'm worried that Diaz is going to be for 2 to 3 months, or probably 6 to 8 weeks, and we just don't need it. With the games we've got coming up, we've got 7 in the next 18 days. But Trent, I'm hoping, I know this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm hoping he's out for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, because he needs a break. He needs a rest. He needs to go away, go to Dubai, go abroad, whatever. He just needs a break. He needs to get away from the social media in this country. He needs to get away from everything, and he just needs to find himself. He just needs to reinvent his brain. He's young enough. He's only 24. He's got time on his side, and he's a world-class right back. I mean, if anything, I see somebody put yesterday that we could play 3-5-2, but Klopp won't play that. He never has, and he never will. Right? I think we're missing Robertson. Robertson needs to get back in the team now. He's the engine. He's the lad that we need down the left. Konate, I actually think if we start him now in the next few games, I actually think we'll get back to being defensively sound. I thought he made some outstanding interceptions yesterday. He's big, he's strong. I said this, and I actually put Konate in my starting 11 yesterday, and I was surprised that Klopp went again on Matip, and I think he's regretting that now. Matip again needs to take a back seat, come in when we need him for the FA Cup against Derby and stuff like that. But I think now Trent needs to go away for a few weeks. I want to see Ramsey. I think Ramsey will start against Derby, which is only in a week or two. I think it's October, isn't it? Or is it November? Either way, we've got some games coming up where Ramsey can feature. He wasn't even on the bench yesterday, which is kind of annoying. So it'd be nice to have seen him come on for Trent. But yeah, I'd start with Gomez at right back against Rangers. We need to listen. If we go and beat Rangers, which we should do on Wednesday night, we're in a very strong position to qualify. Can you imagine? This is what I'm having to go at now. The fans have given up. Some of our fans have given up. We have not lost everything. We are still in the FA Cup. We are still in the League Cup. We are still in the Champions League. We're still in the top 4 race. I think the league, we'd have to go on a run like last season. Now, someone just said last season we were 14 points behind Man City. We can do it. Yeah, we can. We've done it before. But let's not forget last season, our problem was scoring goals. We were drawing games. This season, we're conceding more goals than we've ever conceded. So there's a bigger problem this season than there was last season. But let's not get it twisted here, yeah? This team also lost its entire defence one season. We ended up having to play Henderson at centre-back and that. And we still got in the top 4. We ended up finishing 3rd. So we'll finish in the top 4. I mean, people panicking now about top 4. I think we're only 6 points off it. And we've got a game in hand. So we win our game in hand. It's a win. We're a win away from being back in the top 4. So stop panicking. Let's not forget that yesterday was the most difficult game, bar Man City, we could have had this season. And in form Arsenal, they're flying, they're confident, they've got the tails up, and we're playing in their own backyard, and the referee gave them a little bit of a nudge towards a result. Because it wasn't a penalty. Thiago, that was not a penalty. Every pundit in the studio said it was soft. If it's soft, they just say they want a penalty. Soft is just the way to go. Well, you can see why it was given because it wasn't as if he's dived. So they're going to say it's soft because soft is the next stage from diving and cheating. Soft means, well, if it wasn't given, you wouldn't be saying no about it because it wasn't a penalty. Because Thiago just puts it. Gabriel Jesus wasn't going to get the ball. It wasn't to score a goal. So it wasn't even denying Jesus getting a chance to score. It was a load of bollocks. So, in my opinion, a lot went wrong for us yesterday. And it's not making excuses, but you cannot win games if decisions go against you that are crucial. The Gabriel Jesus penalty was not a penalty. And that's why Henderson was fuming. The Jota cross was a clear fucking penalty. I don't understand why it's even a debate. And did you notice that Sky Sports never even said anything about it? In the aftermath yesterday of the game, they spoke about the Jesus penalty, Redknapp and Barnes and Paul Merson. Not once did he even mention. Not once did he even mention the job. The only person that mentioned it was Klopp. And I'm telling you now, that sent alarm bells off in my head. I'm thinking, why are they not talking about that? And why are they not talking about the tackle on Trent? It was a leg breaker. I've actually put the still image up, and you can see that is a red card. How in the name of Christ? I've seen red cards given in the last couple of weeks for less than that. So that annoyed me. But let's put it all to bed now, right? Let's put it all to bed because I'll tell you this. We will come back. And I believe it, and I'll tell you why. There's too much quality in that team for us to finish outside the top 4. We're just going to have to. Can you remember the first couple of seasons with Klopp when we won games like 5-4 at Norwich? We were winning games 3-2s and 4-3s, and I think Klopp's just decided I'm going back out for that. We're going to just outscore teams because at the moment he hasn't got the midfield to protect the defence. I think that Trent, Virgil, and all that have been exposed because of the midfield. The midfield, Fabinho not starting yesterday for me was wrong. I think Fabinho should have started. I mean, it was something he would have protected the midfield a bit better, having 3 in there. Bobby looked great when he came on. I don't know why. I was reading the Anfield Wrap yesterday. Their player ratings, they said he was shit when he came on. He wasn't. I thought Bobby did well. So here's my player ratings. Alisson 6. I've never seen him save a penalty. I don't think he ever has. Can someone tell me if he's ever saved a penalty? Because I remember it being Adrian and Kelleher. He's not very good at saving penalties, Alisson. I can't remember him ever saving one, so I was annoyed by that. He didn't even get anywhere near it. So that's that. I don't know if he saved any in the FA Cup final, actually. I think he did, actually. Anyway, I was just frustrated because I wanted him to save it. Trent, 6. At fault for both goals. Or had a part in both goals. At fault. Matip, 5. Awful. He's just awful. Konate has to start. Van Dijk, 5. His levels are just not good enough at the moment, and he needs to really stop being like a Rolls Royce and start becoming more like a Volvo and start being a lot tougher. So, left back, kind of Costas, didn't really do anything for me in the game. 6. Hendo, 6. Thiago, 6.5. Thought he was decent on the ball in spells. The only person we could give it to, but then it was a few wayward passes towards the end that annoyed me. Tell you what annoyed me as well towards the end, we just kept on going back to the goalkeeper. Put the fucker in the box. That's what Darwin Núñez, that's what we signed Darwin Núñez for. Go long, get it in his foot, get it in the air, stop trying to play pretty football. We were 3-2 down. Salah, shocking. Glad he was took off. Don't care what anybody says, he was awful. Absolutely awful. Since he's got that contract, he's done an Aubameyang. He literally just doesn't look the same player. He looks like, I don't know whether it's a psychological thing. I think he was angry. He was angry when we wasn't giving him a new contract because he wanted to prove to everybody he was the best. Now, I think he's looking at Erling Haaland thinking, I'm never going to finish top scorer. It's not good enough. I don't know whether the system's affecting his play, but again, not good enough. I mean, I'd like to see a 4-4-2. I'd like to see Núñez and Salah as a front two. I think that could work. I really do. Salah running off, Núñez with a flick on, Salah going in behind him. It's not going to happen. Klopp doesn't play it. So if you want to change formations and go to 3-5-2s and 4-4-2s, then you're going to have to ask for a new manager. And I'm not doing that because Jurgen Klopp's the best in the world, in my opinion. So we will get it right, and we will get it right the Klopp way. As simple as that. No buts, no ifs, no buts, no maybes. Klopp will get it right, and he'll just find a way. January. Go out and sign someone. Who gives a shit if you spend an extra 30 million? Do it. Go out and sign somebody now. You've got to remember, a lot of players are 6 months more into their contract, so it can happen. Do I think it'll happen? Yes. I think that the Arthur Melo situation now has intensified it. I actually think that FSG are now be going, look, even Melo's out for 3 months. Klopp needs help. Klopp will walk. Klopp will go. He'll go at the end of the season. I told you, he'll never leave mid-season, but he'll leave at the end. If he doesn't get backed in these next 2 windows, he'll go. He'll go in the summer because he'll just say, look, my hands are tied. But again, I do believe that FSG will do it because they know what's right for the team. It's easy to not sign players when you're winning fucking leagues and nearly winning the quadruple, right? But we're not doing that now. So the status quo's changed. They're good owners. They're great owners. They run the club great. It's Anfield's just changing every year. It looks incredible. Can't wait for this new stand. It looks amazing. But it's time for John Emre to just set. And I think he will. I think the money's already been put aside for Jude Bellingham in the summer. So this is why I never slag off our owners, because you just look like an idiot. Because what'll happen is we won't sign somebody in January, and then he'll go and spend 105 million euros on Jude Bellingham, and then probably go and buy somebody else and probably spend 200 million. Then what do? Sorry, I just believe they'll get it right. Our owners and Klopp. You know why? Because this is the best spell of success that I have ever witnessed in my life with them owners and Jurgen Klopp. Right? Always point the wrong way, it does me head in. But so keep the faith. It does hurt when we lose. It does hurt. But at the end of the day, we are Liverpool. We will come back. And I said this yesterday. I still won't rule us out. I tell you what, I'm going to say this right now. I'd take top 4 and winning the FA Cup and winning the Champions League. And you could offer me that right now and I'd sign for it. Do you know why? Because I ain't stupid. We are competing with somebody that can pay 900 grand a week to a centre forward, barring the fact they paid 52 million to sign him, gave 100 million to his dad, 50 or to 80 million to his agent. That deal cost 400 million on its own, including his 48 million a year wages, right? We're competing with that. We've then got Saudi money creeping up the league. 2 teams now state owned, right? We're competing with Arsenal. Now the only reason why Arsenal spent a lot of money is because they've been campaigning to get what's his name out at the Emirates. So it's just one of them, and it's early. It's October. Arsenal are not going to win the league. I can categorically say this now. We'll beat Arsenal at Anfield, and I tell you what, we'll beat Man City at Anfield. I tell you, we will not lose. We'll draw at the very minimum. But yesterday I was arguing with a fan that said that we'll get battered next weekend. Where the fuck is your faith in this team, right? Anfield is different. Can I just ask anybody how many times we've been beaten at Anfield this season? And I'll give you the answer: 0. Right? Have some fucking faith. Anfield will be bouncing next Saturday against Man City, right? And let's not forget, we've already played Man City and beaten them in the Community Shield. Don't make out it's just the Community Shield, because Man City wanted to win that just as much as we did, right? Nunez was brilliant against them. He will start again, right? He needs to run the games now. Starting again against Rangers on Wednesday. Keep the goals coming. Keep him playing, right? And also, Man City, Van Dijk had fucking Haaland in his pocket. And what's Haaland said? Haaland said he's the only defender I couldn't get near. So Van Dijk's already in Haaland's head. So have a bit of faith in the team, and just remember that we are Liverpool, and we will come back. I'm just going to read the comments before I go, so I've got to go out. Although it was like Tony Croft, Neil, although it probably should have finished 2-2, it finished 3-2 Arsenal. Oh shit! Oh no! I don't think I can change that. Just stay online a minute. Oh, why didn't I read that first? 2 seconds. Bang. I probably can change it as we come. Just watch this. Yeah. Hey, you're going to laugh at this, Tony. There you go. How does that look? Yeah, it's 3-2. 3-2 Liverpool. 3-2 Arsenal. But thanks for that, Tony. Morning, Mary. So, Tony, I thought Gomez was okay, but at times got caught out. But as you have said, he looked good. But going on the past, he was looking poor, but he will only get better if he plays. I went straight on LFC TV, and both our pundits said their penalty was no penalty. Not in a million years, ours was one. Fuck off. Not in a million years, ours was a penalty. Get stuffed. Morning, Neil. I'm still fuming about those fouls and penalties. The Anfield rap was scathing yesterday. I unfollowed until they got their fucking act together. Don't want that negativity. Yeah, Pam, they were shocking. Do you think we will try and get Bellingham in January? I don't know. I do know that Dortmund don't sell 2 players in the same window, but arguably January is not the same window. Depends on how they're doing in Europe. So it is what it is. But like I say, I'll be back later. I think me and Scott Williams are going to do a video. So Scott, if you're watching, I think we're going to talk about Klopp and Liverpool. We'll do that later this afternoon, and we'll do it live on Zoom and put it on the group later. So let me know your thoughts on this video. Still keep your comments coming, and I'll read them and get back to you later. You'll never walk alone.